The Panthers are benching Bryce Young and starting Andy Dalton this week.
Yo,
Canales has benched Bryce Young. Let's talk about this really quick, Dobbs. Let's get this out of the way. Is this the worst decision in football?
I think I'm gonna say this, Hunter. I think that it's how about this? It's the most unfortunate situation in football. But here's the reality. I think if anything, you're trying to salvage any chance you have of turning him into something, but let's call it for what it is. I mean, this and again, from the first 2 weeks of all 22, Bryce Young does look like the worst quarterback in football. He has, again, back to last week. Right now, there's zero rhythm, there's zero timing, there is zero pocket presence. And yes, their whole line isn't playing like good football, but they're actually playing
It's
better
not
football
bad.
than a lot of
It's
these
not
other
bad.
bad. Yeah, like they're playing better football than a lot of these other bad lines. They just poured over $100 million into the O line this offseason. I think it hits a point where you're saying to yourself, if we're gonna suck, let's at least give a guy a shot that's at least going to give us a chance to win a couple games here and give our team some, like everyone else that we just signed, somewhat of faith in the future of this team. Because I'm going to be honest, Hunter, I think the reality is, if you're especially Dave Canales at this point, you're saying to the ownership and you're saying to yourself, look, not only to save my job, but just the future of this team, we are very likely going to be picking a quarterback again. It does not matter. This basically kind of looks like a Josh Rosen 2.0 situation. Yes, I'm aware that Josh Rosen was bailed on the immediate year afterwards. I know that Bryce has had 2 years, but basically at this point, it looks like he's had 1 year. You get what I'm saying here? So this is basically just a Josh Rosen 2.0 to me, where Canales is saying, look, he's not my guy. He's not the guy, and this is not going to work. We ship him somewhere this offseason. We go another direction this offseason, and I think that that's the only thing you can say. And every Panthers fan at this point, I think, would agree with that too. I don't know one Panthers fan that's still in on Bryce Young. Unfortunate as it is, Hunter, he was thrown into the worst situation imaginable, and it has completely broken him mentally, and it's getting close to breaking him physically because the amount of hits that he forces himself into and that he takes from O line play when the O line isn't playing good. It's just every combination that you could throw in to a pot and mix. It's the worst ingredients you could have had.
I guess my thing is though, like, there's no way you put him back in it this year, right? Like,
No, that's no. I at this point, I
so
mean,
what do you trade him?
but that's the thing. Who trade him to who? And that's kind of where I think the
The
problem
Raiders?
is.
I don't know. Like, there's teams that need a quarterback.
Well, I guess yeah. You know what? There are, and there are teams with.
The Giants? I mean, I don't know, dude. Like,
I'm going to say, like, and again, I don't mean this disrespectfully, but I think that we can agree on this. Hunter, if I had the keys to an NFL team right now, I'm not giving up draft capital, maybe minus a seventh, a sixth for Bryce Young
yeah,
because
I give him
you
a
know my
fifth.
feeling about it's a draft capital league. A lot of people love to disregard. Oh, it's a sixth, it's a seventh. There are all pros and Pro Bowls picked every year in the sixth and seventh round.
Yeah.
It's about hitting on the right guy, right? I mean, I don't want to. I just think that it's almost to the point where Bryce,
Hold
his
on.
the value that he's lost from years one to two, it might be the biggest in history.
I have a master plan ready to go right now. Okay.
I love it. I'm
Ready?
all ears
Hold
for the
on.
master
Just
plan.
bear with me. Okay. I'm going to walk you through this. Pick up the phone. Okay. Like, I'm
All
calling
right,
you.
I'm ready.
You're Dan Morgan trying to deal Bryce Young.
Oh, okay, okay.
Uh, Hi, this is the Atlanta Falcons. What are you looking for Bryce Young? We want a kind of a succession plan to Penix.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. At this point, I'm gonna need okay because he's young. He still has a chance.
Well, that's
You know,
perfect for us because Penix is old, so we could just sit him behind Penix and let him develop while Penix plays after Kirk Cousins plays.
okay. No, I don't hear where you're coming from. I'm gonna need at this point. I'm gonna need a fifth from you guys
Okay,
because I don't
hold
want to
on.
look back on this where if he ends up developing and right now it's terrible, but I'm gonna need at least a fifth from you guys right now.
Okay, hold on. This is Terry Fontenot, but I'm gonna put Ryan Pace on the phone real quick to do the deal. Yeah, I'll give you two first. That's how the deal would go. That's how Ryan Pace would handle it. But no, that's a joke, obviously. But it's like, dude,
That was
this
that
is
was classic. You
insane.
set me up.
This is insane, dude. Like, okay, I don't know. Like, we just? I need to look more into this stuff, but I just feel like we had to talk about it since it happened live.
Oh no, we need to turn that into a whole separate video. I mean,
Yeah,
that's real live reaction. And I think, look, because it's completely shifted gears, but look, Panthers fans, let's just address the situation for what it is. I think, and this is really where it starts, Hunter. And I don't think there's any Panthers fan on earth that's going to disagree at this point. And we've been echoing this sentiment for a whole 365 days plus at this point. David Tepper has not only shown to be an inept owner, but he's shown to be a relatively I'm sorry, I don't like to rail on people, but he's kind of shown to be a jackass, right? Call it for what it is.
Bad.
He's shown to be a jackass, and he has no clue what he's doing in terms of football operations. I think not only does this team have major roster issues and quarterback issues, they genuinely it all starts from the top, Hunter. It's actually very similar to what the Commanders were just going through. Until the well is cleaned from the top down, I don't know if the Panthers are going to see any type of success, and it doesn't really matter what happens. Andy Dalton could take 400 cycles of steroids, and it's not going to change anything about the Panthers. I mean, jokes aside, Panthers fans, I'm sorry. I really, from a Saints fan, I am sorry for what you guys are going through. This is about as low as it gets. I mean, this in our lifetime, Hunter, I don't know if we've seen anything like this. It is truly, and we use this word a lot, but this time I really can't emphasize enough. This is truly unbelievable.
I'm reading the Panthers subreddit right now, and it's just, man, I can't remember anything like this big of a draft trade. I was joking with my friends last night. I was like, who's a bigger bust, Bryce Young or Jamarcus Russell? And they're like, Jamarcus Russell, dude. But I'm like, with what they gave up for him, dude, this might be one of the worst trades of all time, worst picks of all time. Just
well, again, Hunter? Who does it fall on? I mean, it all falls on Tepper.
It is Tepper.
It all starts at the top. These were all decisions greenlit and wanted by him. So,
well, all right. Next week on Overreactions, should the Carolina Panthers bench Andy Dalton for Bryce Young? Thank you guys so much for watching.
Next week, do the Panthers de-relegate themselves and come back next year? Do the Panthers de-relegate themselves to the USFL or wherever else?
Yeah. No, actually, the Panthers are gonna come down, and Ohio State's gonna come up to the NFL, and that's what we're gonna do. But thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Overreacting to Week 2 of the NFL. If you don't know ball, want to know ball, be sure to subscribe, leave a like, let us know in the comments your biggest overreaction from Week 2. We will have new videos almost every day. The only day we don't post is Sunday because we're enjoying football. But we hope you guys have been enjoying the new type of content. We've been really trying to put some more into it, so we're very excited to keep creating content for you guys. Have a great rest of your day, and enjoy Philly Atlanta tonight. Ew, what a ew game.